until we're ready. And then you have to accept players that maybe you don't necessarily want to accept at places like Michigan. Guys that are just blatantly there for a year or two to increase their draft status for the NFL. Okay, they don't really care. They don't really want to learn the fight song, and they just want to go to a minor league for the NFL, an NFL training camp for a couple years, and be in the college football playoff, and so then they can be a first-round draft pick. So that's the reality. It doesn't mean that this season isn't successful. I think this season's been wildly successful. And if Michigan somehow is able to beat Ohio State at the end of the season, well, then to me this would be one of the most historic seasons in the history of Michigan football, and it would be one of the most historic victories in the history of Michigan football. So that is your strategy to get through the next 2 weeks of Michigan football. All right. Let's talk. I just want to talk for a minute about the couple of minutes here about the college football playoff. Look, I think at this point it's the college football playoff. They're going to figure out a way for Alabama and Georgia both to be in it. I'm 100% convinced of that. And then the BigTen champion, 90% chance it's going to be Ohio State. They'll be in the playoff. So to me, it's really a race for the final spot. And with Oklahoma's loss at Baylor, and Oklahoma State being a very unlikely recipient of that bid and it's unlikely that they're going to win out. You've got Oregon, who's got a really tough game at Utah this week. And so it's looking more and more likely that Cincinnati could somehow make it into the playoff. Now, as you've seen from the rankings, and you'll probably see again this week, the College Football Playoff Committee does not want Cincinnati to be in the College Football Playoff. They know that their schedule is a joke, and they know that schedules matter in football. This isn't baseball where there's 162 games. This isn't basketball where there's 80-some games. And this isn't the NCAA basketball where there's a legitimate tournament, and it's fun to have marginal teams with marginal records and who didn't really play tough schedules. It's fun to have them make the tournament because there's 64 teams. There's only 4 teams, and so when it comes to Cincinnati, look, I think we can all, as Wolverine fans, we can be really grateful that they beat Notre Dame early in the season, because if they hadn't, Notre Dame would be sprinting into the college. They'd probably already be in the college football playoff. Notre Dame's remaining games are against Georgia Tech and Stanford, who have a combined 5 victories, I think. Both these teams, Notre Dame and Cincinnati, have weak schedules. I think Cincinnati's rise, I would say one of the main reasons is ESPN's fascination with the American Conference the last several years. It started with Central Florida a few years ago. It's continued the past few years with Cincinnati. And everybody's like, oh, why are you dogging Cincinnati so much? Look, I'm not. They're a good team. But why don't you put Cincinnati in the Big Ten East and see what happens? Why don't you put them in the SEC and see what happens? Schedules matter, okay? In football, schedules are incredibly important. When injuries pile up, the constant pounding, playing tough opponents week after week, it matters, okay? It's playing Penn State and Iowa and Michigan is a heck of a lot different than playing Tulsa and Navy, okay? And Notre Dame is no different. And I know Notre Dame fans would cry, well, we didn't know that USC and Stanford are going to be down. It's not our fault. Yeah, okay, you're right. But, you made the decision to not be in a real conference, and your schedule is what it is. USC and Stanford are down. They're not good teams. Victories over them are not meaningful. Notre Dame barely won their first game of the year against Florida State. This is not a team that is worthy of being one of the 4 best teams in the country. Neither is Cincinnati. And it's just the reality. And we know that whoever makes that 4th spot, if Cincinnati makes that 4th spot, has to play Georgia, they're probably going to be a 14 to 17 point underdog. And so schedules matter. Michigan or Michigan State, who now both of them all they have to do is beat Ohio State to win to have a spot in the college football playoff. If Michigan or Michigan State had Notre Dame or Cincinnati's schedule, they would most likely be undefeated. and most likely almost a lock to make the college football playoff. So I wanted to put a quick blurb in there about that. That's the way I see the college football playoff playing out. All right. Wolverine fans. All right, so as we head into the home stretch of the season, look forward to more game analysis. I'll be back later in the week for some picks for the upcoming Big Ten season. But it's been a lot of fun to be with you. You guys have a great week. Enjoy, and let's go blue. Today's podcast of Wolverine Fan Therapy has been brought to you by Discount Catholic Store. Please visit discountcatholicstore.com today to receive some free promotional information. Your home for all authentic and hard-to-find Catholic gifts, rosaries, medals, amulets, prayer cards, Bibles, holy waters, seasonal items, and much, much more. It's time to do your Christmas shopping at discountcatholicstore.com. Our friends at discountcatholicstore.com are really the best. They really care, and they're here to serve your needs, provide you with amazing customer service, and help you with all your Christmas shopping. Please visit discountcatholicstore.com and receive your free promotion today. Wolverine Fan Therapy is brought to you by our platinum sponsor, Rush Street Capital. Please visit rushstreetcapital.com today for more information. Rush Street Capital is an investment bank focused on the middle market. Rush Street Capital was founded in Chicago but operates nationally, focused on helping private equity firms and family offices raise capital, source new platform investments, and identify and acquire add-ons to existing portfolio companies. Rush Street Capital has been helping private equity firms to achieve their goals, improve IRRs, and create value for their limited partners since 2014. Please visit rushstreetcapital.com today for more information. Thank you. All right. Wolverine fans, thanks for joining us today. We'll be back soon with another podcast episode.